pay attention to. He, as an attorney, working for pro-democracy, groups and all of them, normally, right, is going to associate with, everything around him is going to be what? Associated with what is going on in Africa and where they want him, okay, as an attorney to advise them and all that. And at the same time, how they is going to help them or how they will help them to legally access real support from around the world. That's his own job. So you can say somehow you can only do that kind of job for long if you really, really have interest in Africa. It has nothing to do with whether your resources or not. But there's something I want you to pay attention to. Them talking about Nigeria or anywhere in Africa, especially Nigeria, right? It's not because they love Nigeria that much. In fact, it is because they love their countries more. Nigeria is such a big partner to the West in Africa, West Africa, and the entire Africa, so to say. You know why? Nigeria has the population of over 200 million people, we have been told. Nigeria has been ruled and led by dictators, murderers, and genocidists for decades. Nigeria is considered as one of the most corrupt nations you can call, most mismanaged, no doubt. But there is something that there's a role Nigeria plays for the West, and that is keeping all of us in that contraption, whether we like it or not. If you protest and their military comes out and shoots you dead, America is watching. So if that is what it will take to maintain and keep all of you scared, because if anything breaks out, if Nigeria breaks apart, the entire Africa alone will not be able to contain Nigerians that will be spilling out. You see, America visa, where they no give you, UK visa that they have not been given to you, a lot of you in the journey to safety, you will get to that America. You'll be surprised. How did I make it to America? You won't know. You will make it to Canada. You will make it to as far as China as refugees running away from Africa. It's such a huge number that it can send the entire Africa into a spiral economic crisis, serious one. No, Africa can't take or absorb the numbers of Nigerians that will actually have to leave Nigeria. India droves. Europe will feel it. So anybody, dictator, corrupt or not corrupt, they should just do it normally. Show you here. But when they begin to sense that these people are so divided now, any small bazooka, so that's why most of the time they quickly rise and they try to clip the fingers or the wings of your leaders, including in Nigeria. They quickly say, why, you are descending to this and that. So, sure you get. So these are the symptoms for that. Them feeling like the way this Nigeria is going, even if they force Tinubu on you, are you with me? Even if they do the swearing and it's now your president, it's just a matter of time before the whole thing will explode. You don't get it. Don't worry. Forget about it. Okay? But listen again. I think this should be the concluding part. Again.
Show me your math. We've all gone to school. Show me your math. You've got a number. Show me how you got to that number. Prove what you did. There can be no debate that the initial investigations indicate that they were savaged. The rules were savaged. The rights of the...
Right? I love what somebody just said there. That is also the reason why the agitators and then, what do you call it? The agitators and the self-determination advocates, right? This is why they won't go far. Because if you get what you want with the way Nigeria has become right now, undemocratic, dictatorial, tyrannical, right? If any war is ignited in any part of Nigeria, for real, it will trigger that breakup. And then it will trigger, according to their feelers, so it will trigger that huge, massive migration out of Nigeria. And Nigeria will not survive any civil war again. Do you know that? Nigeria cannot survive another civil war. So they will do everything. The government, even if the government is killing agitators, America is saying, United Nations are saying. So when you tag them, when you call them, United Nations, come and help us. United, you know what I mean? They are seeing everything. Because according to them, that is the only thing they can do to keep Nigeria one. But it can't be like overblown bubble where everybody is trying to hold together. But as you are trying to hold it together, it keeps expanding. It's about to blow. You are trying to like force it together. It keeps expanding and it's about to blow. So eventually it's going to blow. So the world that is trying to make sure Nigeria remain one, for this same singular reason of curbing and maintaining migration, it hasn't helped. In fact, it's like holding on to a ticking time bomb. It is eventually going to happen. So they're asking, you declare somebody winner? Show us your number. Let us see the numbers. Show us. How? You arrive at this. Continue.
Show me your math. We've all gone to school. Show me your math. You've got a number. Show me how you got to that number. Prove what you did. There can be no debate that the initial investigations indicate that they were savaged. The rules were savaged. The rights of the electorate were savaged. It was polluted by blatant and widespread corruption. And as Dr. Lloyd said, the four horsemen of democracy's doom, bribery, intimidation, insecurity, and vote rigging, appeared to trot and run roughshod all over the nation. They were harnessed to skew the results. We, NADECO, call upon the people of Nigeria to act peacefully, but to demand that proof be provided to them, that INEC prove the results they've announced. We also call upon the international community to join together with the Nigerian judiciary in a concerted effort to condemn and set aside the hastily announced results and instead proceed with the solemn seriousness this deserves. Again, one of the world's great nations is at peril here, continues to be at peril here. We need to make sure we don't continue to turn our back on Nigeria. And what we're asking for is very simple. Prove to us. Prove. NADECO says prove to us that if there is a Nigeria and there is a democracy in Nigeria, that it was arrived at lawfully and in accordance with the rule of law. The continuation of power by the ruling party is a wholesale disenfranchisement of Nigeria without more. That is little more than a dictatorship. And it's a new dictatorship. But it is nonetheless a dictatorship because it's imposed apparently against the will of the people. And we believe the will of the people of Nigeria must be preserved, it must be sanctified, and it must be held with the most solemn of regard. This event is designed to lead a global call to action to address INEC's duplicity and to make sure that the truth is told and that what happened is exposed and the next steps can be taken. And I, for one, I know there was a lot of skepticism. I've appeared in this, well, a few rooms over a few years ago on the Uzodimma issue. I was involved in drafting briefs that were filed there. The Nigerian judiciary cannot always be relied on to do the right thing in elections. But I take a little bit of hope. You've got to be an optimist. You have to be an optimist. Because your faith in God and your love for your country and your love for your family, you got to be an optimist. The Nigerian judiciary showed us they have the ability to disregard what INEC says and chart their own path toward justice. Now, we may disagree with what they did with Uzodimma. Certainly, Ihedioha disagrees, and my clients did, but they have that ability. So the Nigerian judiciary, there's a small spark of hope. Their recent ruling to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to impose a substantial fine of 1 billion naira for his wrongful retention, that gives you hope. I believe the Nigerian judiciary can do the right thing. But if they don't, we also believe that the international community has a burden. It's far too long disregarded the great Nigeria. We cannot turn our back. The will of the people of Nigeria must be preserved. Thank you.
So that is the challenges ahead. As those who helped Kolu to rig elections are now being called to come and show the numbers, show the math. In Rivers State, where Wike committed the worst election rigging ever by anybody. And he is not ashamed of it. Right? So they are now asking people, why have you not congratulated me? To the point that Tinubu was going to people's homes, to people's houses. Hi, how are you? How you doing? Sorry, eh? Do you know that I'm the president-elect? Yeah, I saw it on TV. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations, eh? Oh, thank you. How come you didn't post it online to congratulate me on social media? Oh, I've been busy. I'm sorry. I have to come to your house to remind you. But you know I'm the president-elect. That's exactly how Tinubu is. And those around him, they are bullying people to agree and accept something that they can't even verify. So when that guy said he's optimistic, that guy said, I'm optimistic that there is a glimpse of, hope. But if that fails as expected, it's going to fail. The international community will have to take it on. International community is not going to stop Tinubu from being sworn in. Let me say that to you. Please don't begin to think, yeah, thank God, America have not accepted him. They will not allow him to be. Don't believe that nonsense. Please, don't let anybody say that to you. Okay? If your Supreme Court does not stop him, America, United Nations, and any other thing that you probably kind of think about, Russia, anybody, they cannot stop his inauguration. But what will happen is it will never have credibility. And that is going to rub off on all Nigerians, wherever you are all over the world. It will rub off on you. Your press, everywhere you see him, it's going to be like it's being forced. Okay? You begin to have to associate with countries that Nigeria is supposed to give money. You get that? You know, there are some countries that if to see Nigeria is a real place, you are supposed to be giving them money. How are you? Take this money, help your economy from your big brother, Nigeria. Oh yeah, take this money. There will be those that Nigeria will be meeting with Kolu and the rest of them. And wherever you see them in the world, wherever you see Kolu as president, you will see that it is being forced. Like, man, look at him. Oh, my shoe. You will be seeing Kolu, you will be shaking your head. And good luck with that. And everybody around Kolu, they will be fighting day and night for credibility. And that's what this is going to be all about. It will be trying to prove to you that it doesn't matter, even if you don't see him as but it means, well, I want to help you. No, you are not helping anybody. Nobody cares. So that is going to be the future of Kolu. But if what has been recorded in Africa lately, Tanzania, Zambia, is it Zambia? No, Zambia didn't go to court. They actually won outrightly. Opposition, right? Then Kenya, yeah, where somebody got rigged in. But the only difference here is that when they rigged Obi, the one that is third, somebody that is third, right, is saying that I won and I'm going to prove it. I will prove it to everybody. Somebody that was second, though, that is second, Atiku, he's not even like really pushing much. He's not worrying himself. Or maybe as a veteran in the election case and all of that, election petition tribunal, maybe it's just, he has another means. Because today, he has withdrawn his case against INEC to inspect INEC materials, even when Obi is still adamant. Somebody that is third says the person you declared didn't win. And the person that is declared winner is so worried that somebody that is third is not accepting him, and they are so scared that it could upturn everything. It is such, I mean, it is such a what do you call it? A sort of not peaceful way to feel as a winner, is it? Now people are saying that their mind will not rest. They have stolen from the wrong person. They have stolen from the wrong generation. And they are going to live in the shadow of that for the rest of their lives. And I'm beginning to believe that. So, Peter Side, you remember Peter Side? Somebody has an explanation, by the way, on what really happened and why Tinubu and his people are now shopping for endorsement, congratulations, and what have you. Take a listen. The credit for this clip actually goes to the Arise News, every second of it. And you can actually watch the full content on their channels too. But for this part, please.
Homework, so I can speak a little.
I am exceedingly eager to hear what your homework entails. But before we get to it, I mean, your political affiliation is a little bit murky. At one point, I believe you were a member of the Social Democratic Party, the SDP. Are you still in the SDP?
Oh yes, I'm still a proud member of the SDP, so please don't get confused, Charles.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up, because of course you publicly endorsed Peter Obi on this program ahead of the presidential election. I mean, I wonder if you went out and actually voted for him on February the 25th.
Oh yes, I said I was going to vote for Peter Obi, and I voted for Peter Obi. I was one of the luckier people. I came out on Saturday morning, the polling booth near my house in Victoria Island. I saw the crowd, the youth there. I joined them. They told me to go in front and vote, that I was an elder. I was accredited successfully by Beavers. I voted and left and put up a tweet that it took me all of 5 minutes to vote. And later on, I just came back to get the results, you know, at the end where they were counting. And in fact, I believe you have the result of my polling unit using Nigerian parlance. I'm among those who managed to deliver our own polling unit.
We've called that Exhibit 1A, so we can see it on the screen right now. Tell us about that.
I think there's always a little delay, so what you see in Abuja will probably show up here in Lagos a few seconds later. But I think the Exhibit 1A was the results from my polling unit. So even though I cannot see it, I have the results with me. I mean, my polling unit, the result was, there were only just under 100 voters. Labour Party had 51, APC had 26, PDP had 15, and APN 1, ZLP 1, and 3 votes were voided. So Labour Party won and got almost double the votes of APC, and that was in Victoria Island in Lagos. The polling unit is the one called Ozumba Mbadiwe, or polling unit number 240801031. So right. Later on, I checked the results. I mean, this is what we're supposed to do. When the results came out on INEC website, I went and checked the results, and that is Exhibit 1B. I saw the results sheet there. It was published. What INEC published for my polling unit was the exact same results that I saw on the day. So I don't have any problem with my polling unit. And if this was the experience all over the nation, I will be the first one to say there's nothing to discuss. Unfortunately, the evidence shows that I was one of the luckier ones in terms of being able to vote early, no voter suppression, no delayed start. The results that were published were the same as what we counted. And so everything was hunky-dory.
Well,
so if we go on...
Right, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that, I mean, we're seeing all kinds of polling booth results now being uploaded or displayed on social media, I think uploaded on iRev as well. I mean, how satisfied are you with the presidential election results as declared by INEC? And if you're not satisfied, why not?
I'm not satisfied because I saw too many irregularities. And please, all the information I'm using is in the public space. The information I'm using is available from INEC website in terms of the iRev and the result sheets versus what in some cases the parties and the polling agents are insisting is the result. And I will give a few examples. You know, if you show Exhibit 2A or something like that, and because it's not, and don't forget that there are whistleblowers. A polling agent might be 22 years old. If you bring out the wrong results, he starts screaming, begging everybody to come and look at what he has put up or what you have put up. So I don't know if you're able to show Exhibit 2A. All I'm seeing is on your program, I'm seeing myself.
Now, we can see it on air, so you can tell us about it. It's on air at the moment.
Well, okay.
You may not see
okay.
it, but it's on air.
If you can see it, yes. Okay. The Exhibit 2A shows you somebody from Rivers State. Just an example, I could have gone anywhere, but Rivers State is also my home state, so why not? So people there have my telephone number, they have my contact details, they have a right to scream and say, look, Oga, come and see what's going on here. So what do you see there? A young polling agent is screaming. In my polling unit in Rivers State, he says, Labour Party got 223 votes. APC got 8 votes. Let's just stop there. The other parties got very little. So I repeat, Exhibit 2A, the polling agent is screaming, Labour Party got 223 votes. APC got 8 votes. When you go to Exhibit 2B, that is published by INEC on the iRev. Now, it's possible this polling agent is wrong, but the results are reversed in Rivers State, where he says Labour Party got 223. INEC has uploaded APC 223. Where he says APC got 8, INEC has uploaded for APC 223. Now let me explain something about Beavers. So some people don't know. The one important thing Beavers does is that all the votes must add up. So you must always make a minimum of 2 changes. If you make only 1 change, it will not add up, unless it was somebody that scored 0. And even then, if you change 0 to 0, only then will you have the same result. But you must make 2 changes. So this polling agent is screaming that they reversed the results. Labour Party is saying got 223, APC got 8. INEC is showing the exact opposite between those 2 parties. So the votes are balanced. And when you look at the image that INEC actually uploaded on iRev, you can see on the right-hand side where they put where they put the words. You can see that the words have been altered. Tipex has been used. Hey, I'm not an criminal investigator. I invite people to go and look at the same information themselves. This is polling unit number 32, 15 07 031. You can see that beside the APC.
Like, did you get what is driving at, Abi? Now, just think about that in tens of thousands of polling units where they actually to turn things around. And he's actually so right. In fact, using Rivers State as a case study, right, is so brilliant. Because even in Rivers State right now, Nigeria said INEC has announced election results, right? And the people of Rivers State weeks after that, they are still demanding for this. Do you get that? They were disenfranchised. In some of those places, their results were changed. And some people are actually joking about that, right? There's a joke about what happened in River State, the rigging, the political haste that happened in River State, right? There's a joke. They said that Tinubu asked Wike to just ensure that he gets 25%. And Wike, out of stupidity, decided to overrig to the point that they can't even ask them to come and prove it. That's how bad the election, was. And elections, as they say, have consequences. And I agree. But for the first time, there is an existential pressure on those who used to sit in their comfort zones, having realized that they've conquered the people and they could barely fight them back until the obedience came. Today, they are still ridiculous, but with one election left, a lot of them are trying to be what they have not been in years. And it's quite fun to see. But what is not fun to see is that what happened on the 25th of February, that election or charade, might actually be a tip of the iceberg of what is still to happen. As one of them in Lagos, which happened to be the supposed traditional seat or traditional home of the president-elect, Tinubu. He was beaten in his own home state. They beat Bokwari in his own state. They beat El Rufaya in Kaduna. They beat Gandola in Kano. They beat their campaign chairman in Plateau. And that's exactly what happened all over the place. Now, according to them, we were not prepared. Remember, When they talk about structure of Tinubu, my guys and my people, they are talking about this structure of violence. But whatever this looks to you, just know that it is just a tip of what is still coming. Tinubu structure in Lagos, and they see shop beating, they see beat them. After all this braggadocio.
You don't even take this for a year. Go your house. Nobody force you come here. Go out. So if I see you vote another, I will come look at. If I see you vote another party, go ahead and house. You don't come joke for here. This territory where you get, I APC. Go your house. Go relax.
So APC, Egbekegbe structure. That's one of those structures, okay? Violence, intimidation, the structure of criminality. You will call it, Abi? They don't always go violence. They don't always go like violence and all that all the time. In fact, the bribery in Nigeria elections, Abi, this is what this looks like. After 8 years of impoverishment, after 8 years of terrorism in Kaduna, APC get mind to go bribe people living in this kind of a condition with food 3 days to elections.
kaza kike bukata kaza nake bukata in dan kwana ma uba sani yanda Allah ya kawo shi wannan lokaci Allah ya tashi ruku ya kara mishi daukaka Allah saka da alheri ko mu kuma ce ki dauko mu kaza an baki alheri to Allah ya kawo lokacin uba sani wanda ni dan kwana mishi amma san da kwale kaza Allah ya sa ya faka Allah ya shige mishi gaba Allah ya saka da alheri yawa na masha Allah yawa sai an ji Allah ya Allah kara daukaka Allah ya shige gaba.
That is Nigeria of 2023. APC modeled type of empowerment, APC model type of government that they actually are projecting on all of us. A poverty capital of the world. And it is so wrong for you to actually live well, except for them. That's criminal, isn't it? That is APC. Egbekegbe that is in government in Kaduna. And if you think that is not, that's cringy. You know APC, Egbekegbe choose Muslim ticket, Abi. And then they turn around to blame Peter Obi for inheriting the Christians that rejected the Muslim ticket. So they now put it on him and said, he's campaigning on religion. He's telling all the churches this or that. Take a look at this. This is an internal memo from the office of Secretary to the government of Kaduna State. What do you see on your screen? This is like a normal thing in northern Nigeria. State governors will mobilize money to pay sheikhs, clerics, to spread hateful religious messages, divisive messages, in the name of Allah, in the name of Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But behind it, and they will tell you, once our imam, once our sheikh Alu Fulani, Sheikh Alu Bariki, and all those funny sheikh they have there, criminals. Once they get paid like this behind the scene, then they begin to issue fatwa. They will begin to threaten everybody. They will begin to, you know what I mean? They will begin instigation. Now look at this. This one is for Saturday elections, okay? In 2019, that was how El Rufaya mobilized the Islamic clerics in Kaduna. And what did they do? They preached what actually segregated the Christians and Muslims in Kaduna today. and it worked. Now, this is a 7 million naira that has been paid out as a upfront, like a deposit. Now, on Friday, this Friday, you are going to go to the mosque in Kaduna, and they are going to tell you why Labour Party is Igbo Party. Why Labour Party and these people are coming to come and wipe off Islam. They are coming to wipe off everybody. And Allah said, if anybody try to come and take our religion, we must kill them. So anybody that is against El Rufai candidate is enemy of Islam. And all of you say, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And they will do all that jack nonsense. And you won't know that they were paid to further entrench that hatred that they have implanted in you. To entrench that fear that they have implanted in you. To wake all of the vileness they have put in you. Because at the end of the day, you will think you are fighting to save Islam. You are fighting to save Yoruba land. You are fighting to save Igbo land. You are fighting to save this or that. No, you are not. No, you are not. That's how it works. They pay Islamic clerics to preach about APC, Egbekegbe, to the people that are suffering in the hands of APC, Egbekegbe. Let me show you something. You know, Southern Kaduna, every time Southern Kaduna is in the news, it's so sad since APC, Egbekegbe came into power. It's been such a sad story. Genocide, killings, kidnapping, destruction, burning, arson, and so many horrible things. For the first time in a long time, I no go deny you, I saw something good news from Southern Kaduna. Do you know when that was? Now, when Peter Obi visited them, and they all came out like, man, these people have seen Shege. Guess what? They were to be punished for it. Okay? As much as they have been so traumatized, killed, sent to different IDP camps, chased out of their lands. In Kaduna, you cannot defend the Southern Kadunas. You may lose your life. That's how serious it is. Or lose your freedom. Immediately after the old election and all that, now PDP win Kaduna. El Rufai lost almost all of the National Assembly seats, including presidential elections. Now the people of Southern Kaduna, Christians in Southern Kaduna, received the attacks after the elections. And it didn't take long before this happened to them. 17 people were slaughtered in a single day by Fulani terrorists. And they are paying our fast, paying mosques to continue to preach that religious supremacy until they will wipe off the entire infidels in Southern Kaduna. I didn't say that. That's exactly what they have been saying. We will kill you. You think you can use all of you Christians here to make Obi president of Nigeria? You will pay. How then do you call that country, one Nigeria? Can you at least be honest for once, for the sake of these people?
If this government is a government we all work together to bring into power, what have we done so bad that our people are being killed in their numbers and the government is mute about it? Now, what we want as a people, as a nation, is the security personnel in this land are not longer protecting us. It is the responsibility of government to protect our lives and our properties. But because government is not doing that, we are begging government. We are on our knees asking the government to repatriate all the security personnel. We want to take our fate in our hands. We return back to go to from whom we came. Exactly. And we are pleading any further delay, the government should not blame us. Yes. Definitely. We have nothing. We have no power. we have no weapons, but we have God. And in that God, we are going to turn to. But I want to plead with you. Please, let's continue to show love to one another. Let's continue to be law-abiding citizens. Let's continue to protect ourselves. Let's continue to defend ourselves. If this government is a government...
Imagine you being endangered in your country because some people felt like your political association is going to undermine their superiority, especially their religion. And they believe that so strongly that if you are dead, you won't have that chance again to actually have, put up a number to threaten their source of survival, which is government. So using religion as a cover. It's sad, isn't it? That is APC, Egbe for you. Deadly people, deadly and dangerous people. They rigged the election in Lagos. And they brag out there that they just let the Lagos go. No, they didn't. I told you they didn't. And I've also told you, on Saturday, you are going to witness a never seen before rigging. No matter how much you have prepared or you are ready. As you are watching this video right now, one of the things they discovered is that there was no plan for that surprise that you, Obedient, pulled in Lagos. Okay? And they are never going to let that happen again. And some of you are saying that you are also ready for them. But here is something I want you to know. No matter how ready you are, the people that want to rig you, they are not the Tinubu's thugs. They are not those who are making mouth, who are doing all, you know what I mean? They are not those who are going to physically attack your polling unit. Those are not the people that want to rig you. The whole rigging is going to be done by INEC. And as you are watching this video, it has already been concluded. Rigging starts from entrusting vital electoral materials, entrusting them into the hands of compromised people. So it all starts from the recruitment for those who are going to handle your critical voting or electoral materials. And whoever appoints those people controls 80% of what is going to be the end result of that election. It doesn't matter. Whether it holds or it doesn't hold, it doesn't really matter. The violence, the burning of voters' card, attacking voters, sending you not to come out, all those ones are the daytime distraction. Beavers won't load. Some of you won't be able to vote as well. All of these are orchestrated by INEC. That is the rigging that happens before you are given that first ballot. Trust me, that is the real thing. So you are going to be enraged. Look at you. You all recorded the brutalization, including killings of those who stood with the Obedient that they want to make Obi president. Remember that. You are raging and angry now with the level of evidence you have come across. The rigging, you are not accepting it, Abi. They don't care. And all winning and winning. Their supporters, they know they don't have the number to continue to put these criminals in power. But they are very strong. They will be disappointed if their leaders fail to use that power to rig. They believe that rig first. At least first rig. When you rig, then we can go and fight for it later. Don't let them rig you. Don't let them defeat you. If they defeat you, you know if you fight. That's the philosophy of APC, in case if you don't know. And for Lagos, you are going to witness. In fact, some of you will actually televise it. You are going to stream a never seen before rigging. You are going to see them announce results that doesn't exist. You are going to be enraged more than what happened on the 25th of February. It's all done. And that's why I keep asking all the time that when that happens, what are you going to do? Mayegun, you know if it happen, Gbagbe. Mayegun, I know all of that. I'm just saying. Because what happened on the 25th of February, according to these criminals, it caught them unaware. And they will put everything in it. Currently, INEC have started replacing their staff who worked on the 25th of February. Do you know that? As you are working to make sure you defend yourself against thugs, touts, vote buyers, and the rest, they are already changing the INEC staff that are going to actually conduct your elections. Guess what? They are APC members. Tell me you don't know that, Abi. Or tell me you actually knew that. Do you know that, Abi? Do you know that's actually a rigging that happens before rigging? You don't know that? Well, now you do. They are already replacing all those voters, what do you call it, that you saw on the 25th. You won't see them again, including youth corpers. And they have just one single job: to frustrate you from trying to pull any numbers to shut them. And when the number begins to look like not theirs, Beavers will begin to not work again. Hey, Beavers is not working again. Oh, this INEC will never learn. This INEC chairman must go to jail. They will announce winner. They will tell you that they have re-elected Sonweku. That is when you understand that some of us feels like it is not worth it to invest any emotion or expectation on what they are doing in Nigeria. You don't believe me, Abi? One of them went on TV and boldly said, they lost to, they rigged, they still lost to. He said, what happened on the 25th? The Ashiwaju lost in Lagos. It will never happen again. And they will make sure of it.
Well, we're not particularly too surprised at the hurricane that swept our electoral fortunes, natural electoral fortunes in Lagos 2 weeks ago. We recognize the factors that accounted for that slight low performance.
Can you share some of the factors with us?
Yes, basically, first of all, our children are still smarting from the events of NSAS. The Muslim ticket thing got Peter Obi to, actually rode on the, religious factor to power. I mean, he wanted to ride on it to power. So he was hopping from church to church to tell them, take your country back, as if though the country really belongs to the Christians and somebody took it from them. Wrong politicking, if I must say, but those were. So the Christians started to feel as if, okay, we must vote out a Muslim, and we must not allow a Muslim ticket to hold. That worked against us, particularly some churches actually, came very hard on their members, actually, telling them do not vote for X or Y. So that, worked against us. The tribal, factor. Obi played a tribal politics, and that again worked against us. The Igbo community came together, in one block and gave their vote to Obi. Those three factors worked against us considerably.
So how do you think you would fare this Saturday?
Oh yeah, this Saturday is a different kettle of fish because we were caught unawares to a large extent. It was an insurgence upon our political stability and fortress. They actually came without us actually expecting. Now that they have done it, we're now very much awake, and we now know where and what to do to ensure that a repeat of such calamity does not happen. Why do I call it a calamity? People do not even understand. People do not understand the enormity of what it will be for Labour Party to win Lagos State. And I want to use this opportunity to explain, you know, a lot of things. Now, there's a secessionist group called IPOB, prohibited, which the federal government of Nigeria had prohibited. They have but they are still operating very, very, you know, actively in the East, to the extent that a certain day of the week is a no-go, no outing. The whole place is a holiday, and everybody has, and lot of killings, burnings, everything happening in the East. There was never a time that Peter Obi spoke against IPOB. And the kind of political fortunes, electoral fortunes, Peter Obi recorded in the East is an indication that IPOB worked for him.
Did you see how those two presenters were looking at him? Let me kind of chip in something here. You see, an average APC member does not actually feel like APC has failed in Nigeria. They don't see it. They just see your reactions as you hating them for who they are, not their act of irresponsibility that they never take any responsibility for anything. They actually don't see the ruin and destruction they have brought upon Nigeria as anything that should warrant you not to support them. Then they are so good in gaslighting the people. And that is when he quickly deviated. He said it was an insurgence. It was an insurgency. It was a tsunami against their political fortress, Lagos. They were sleeping before. Now they are awake. So to explain to people why they must keep them is because if they vote a Yoruba man or a Lagosian or running under Labour Party in Lagos, they are going to bring IPOB to Lagos. Do you get that? Did you see that switch? It's deliberate. It's called dog whistle and gaslighting. What brought IPOB to what happened in Lagos? It simply means that they haven't learned any lesson at all. Statistically, the Yorubas, who are Lagosians, actually controls, or should I say they constitute over 80% of the population of Lagos. Yorubas. The Igbos, including generational Lagosian Igbos, plus or minus, they put their numbers somewhere around 10%. The other 10% or less than 10% is shared by other ethnic nationalities who are non-Yorubas across Nigeria. How can you then base your campaign on tribal hatred, tribal bigotry, divisive rhetorics, and then scare or fear-mongering because of 10% of the population, ignoring the 80% that are also victims of a bad governance in Lagos? They don't see that. So they are still pushing the narrative of IPOB, this, IPOB, that. But behind the scene, they are frustrated. Yeah, you can quote me anywhere. They are frustrated. It got to a stage that they said that Elegushi that got beaten in Etiosa local government area, they beat him Bala Bulu, Bulu Bala, blue black. That's what I'm saying. The former personal assistant to Tinubu, and then a political oba of Elegushi of Egushi. The guy had to declare a 7-day Oro festival to further scare minority that doesn't really make much impact on the number that they call tsunami, hurricane. And Lagos as their fortress. And the Lagosians are worried. They want to deal with them. And these guys are still pushing tribal this, tribal that. When Sanwo-Iku have started turned himself to usher, he's turned himself to, he visits everywhere right now, trying to tell them that, sorry, I am sorry, I'm sorry, Joe. After they went on, after all of their incitement and mobilization, and they sent their own thugs to burn down the auto spare parts in Akere. That is in Ajegule, Akere. Auto spare parts markets. Majorly, populated by the Igbo traders. Out of this whole thread, they burned down the whole market. And they continue to threaten people, including Yorubas in Lagos. And guess what? It's okay, fine. Now that Shinedu go they go vote for. Yeah, Yorubas are now telling them, you are calling us Omoale. You already brukwala tenujala pama shishes. You are scared that you are not going to get free money again. All of this, your career, politics, you would have to go and fight for whatever crumbs is available for you in Abuja. You are condescendingly looking down on the Yorubas. You are looking for who to blame, to kill, to destroy. But you are ignoring the people that are actually dealing with you, the ones that will deal with you. On the 25th of February, when they were doing their elections, these people will not get sense. They were targeting and looking for Igbos. At first, through INEC, they made sure that anybody with Igbo name, you know, go see your voter's card. If you ever going to see your voter's card, your name, you're not going to see your name at your polling unit. They ensured of that. They were targeting the non-Yorubas. They were what? They were expecting that out of a sense of entitlement, they expected the Yorubas naturally to follow them because Yorubas are what? Or they are be. So why they are wasting their energy, all of their plan on Igbos and non-Yorubas, in fact, especially Igbos, they were ignoring the Yorubas. Now everybody went to the polling unit. Less number of Igbos. All the areas that they have, highest number of non-Yorubas Lagosians, they went there to suppress them, unleash violence. Areas that they knew that Yorubas are many, that they naturally believe that they will vote for them, they just give them free hand. Can't see waiting they happen. The shock MC Olueron, that he became Alhaji Sheikh MC Olueron. He started praying for people in Lagos. Joe now, I beg you now. Last man and the rest of them, they started dancing Iju Eleya. And the rest. Trust me. Behind the scene, Sanwo-Iku had to go back to that same market they bombed down. Okay? And he gave them money. Hey, Joe, please. A lot of people all over the world are not happy that we burnt your markets. Okay? He hasn't condemned all of this violence and this threat on social media, offline, everywhere. They are threatening people that if they burn you well, come out that day and vote against Tinubu, against Sanwo-Iku. All of you, because you are angry with Tinubu Abi, because of one man, you now want to, continuity is what we want. You are threatening people on social media. And Sanwo-Iku never actually sanctioned to say, please don't do this. Please stop threatening people. Please, this is not my Lagos. Your Lagos is our Lagos. It should be ours. So instead of all of these things to work, they seem to be making things difficult for Jide. That Jide had to go to Akere. He gave them 100 million. He also went there with some pieces of fabricated blocks, right? And then cement and gravel. And he also turned to bricklayer, trying to rebuild the market. Maybe he can actually do a miracle. Rebuild the Akere market. Pay all of the traders that lost all their wares in 3 days. As it be so, let's say if you call Sanwo-Iku, someone said, hello, Governor Sanwo-Olu. I don't understand this sun. No, this sun is too high. It's very warm. You need to do something about this sun, no, because election is Saturday. Oh, before I change my mind, though. That's the joke right now on social media. Ask him anything, he's going to do it. Just do small video and say, Sanwo-Olu, we are going to fight you. They will come and give you something. They will come and beg you. Sanwo-Olu will come everywhere right now. All because of the obedience. They are threatening people on one side. On the other side, they turn Sanwo-Olu into... watch this.
People and government of Lagos State, this is to present 100 million naira for the traders that are carrying motor spare parts traders that are here, that we promise that will make this available for them.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Excellency. Only thing I have to say here is to thank you. May God, Almighty God, continue to bless you forever and ever. All of us here must come out and vote for our Excellency, full of time. We believe in you now, fully, because before they are trying to confuse us. But now we know what you can do to us.
Do you get that? Everybody must come out fully to vote for. Took a second look at that number, 100 million naira. Is this even real? For our governor. Before they are trying to confuse us. Remember Gbadebo went there and he gave them 15 million. Sure, you remember? Now, the guy is like, I have to be very careful of what I say here. I need to say something that Sanwo-Olu is going to be kind of at peace and say, okay, finally. It be like say they don't say they forgive me. We all must come out and vote for 100 million for our governor before they are trying to confuse us. But with this 100 million, we are no longer confused. We are confused.com. Oh yeah, funny. Give an Obe really mix the whole thing. Before Sanwo-Olu became governor, oh not your Zuri. Let's build another Akere market. See? What else do you want him to do?